Radiant kingdom of Elmir, there lived a beloved king named Cujo. He was not just wealthy, he was wise, humble and generous. His heart beat for his people, and under his rule, Elmir flourished. The townspeople called him Father of the Land, and every week he walked among them, listening to their troubles and blessing them with food, gold and comfort. But where there was light, darkness was not far behind. Queen Valerie, his wife, was a beauty to behold, but inside she was ice. The people feared her more than famine. She ruled with cruelty, driven by pride and power. While Cujo gave, Valerie took. While Cujo listened, Valerie silenced. When she walked through the town, everyone dropped to their knees, not out of respect, but out of terror. If a child forgot to bow, she slapped their parent. If a vendor hesitated to greet her, her guards would beat them until they bled. Behind the palace, hidden in the shadows of the royal gardens, was a prison cell built not for criminals, but for the queen's victims. The king knew very little of this. She wore a mask of charm before him, and because Cujo trusted her, he rarely questioned her actions when he was not around. Now, in the heart of the marketplace lived a young woman named Kate. She was no ordinary girl. She was strong, bold, and beautiful in a wild, unpolished way. She sold fish in the corner of the market, her arms scarred from fishing lines, her back hardened by labor. But what made Kate feared and admired was her courage. She didn't bow to anyone, not out of rebellion, but out of principle. She believed respect must be earned, not demanded. Even the toughest men in the market thought twice before trying to mess with her. It was a quiet Saturday morning. The sun was gentle and the market buzzed with life. Vendors arranged their goods, children chased each other between stalls, and Kate, as usual, was filleting fresh fish with expert hands. Then came the storm. Queen Valerie arrived, 2 guards flanking her, faces cold and alert. She paraded down the aisle like a goddess among mortals. She picked up bread, fruits, bolts of fabric and gold bangles, never paying a coin. The vendors stayed silent, their eyes lowered. Fear hung in the air. Then she reached Kate's stall. 10 pounds of fresh tilapia lay packed and ready. Without a word, Valerie took them and turned to walk away. But Kate's voice rang out like thunder. "Where's the money?" The market froze. Valerie turned slowly. Her eyes narrowed. "What did you say?" "I said pay. That's 10 pounds of fish, not a royal gift," Kate replied. Arms folded, chin high. Gasps echoed. Vendors pulled back. No one had ever spoken to the Queen like that. Valerie walked up to Kate, leaned in, and with venom in her voice said, "Take your filthy hands off my robe." Kate didn't flinch. She stood firm, and then, slap. Valerie struck Kate across the face. Time seemed to stop. Kate's head turned from the blow, her cheek red. But when she looked back, her eyes were no longer calm. She lunged. The 2 women fought. It was not elegant, but fierce. Queen Valerie, dressed in gold and silk, rolled in the dirt as Kate wrestled her down. The guards rushed in, but Kate was ready. She punched, kicked and flipped one guard to the ground before they finally overpowered her. Bloodied and breathless, Kate was dragged through the dirt like a criminal. A vendor boy ran through the streets shouting, "The fish girl fought the Queen. The guards beat her." By the time the news reached King Cujo, he was sitting under the royal tree, reading to village children. He stood up in shock, his hand trembling. "Who dares raise a hand against my queen?" he roared. He sent soldiers to detain Kate and bring her to the palace prison. But as they locked her up, the people rose. Dozens marched to the palace gates. Vendors, elders, even young men who had long feared the queen's wrath began to speak. "She steals from us. She beats us. She threw my brother into the prison for forgetting to bow." One by one their stories came out. A wave of truth flooded the palace. Cujo listened in disbelief. His heart shattered. All this time under my roof. That evening he confronted Valerie. "You've brought shame upon my name." But the queen only laughed. "You were too weak to rule. I ruled for you." He turned to walk away, but she called for her private guards. They came, swords drawn, not to protect, but to kill. "Finish him," she ordered. But Cujo's loyal guards, hidden in the shadows, leapt in. Blades clashed, and in the flickering light of the palace torches, a battle raged. Steel screamed, blood was spilled. When it was over, Queen Valerie's guards were defeated and shackled. She stood alone, defiant, angry but defeated. "Take her," Cujo commanded, but he did not throw her in the dungeon. He exiled her to her father's crumbling estate in the mountains, stripped of her crown, jewels, and pride. The next morning, Cujo visited Kate in the prison. Her face was bruised, her arms cut, but her spirit unbroken. He knelt before her. "I failed you. I failed my people." She looked at him, shocked. "You're kneeling?" she asked. "For justice. I will kneel to anyone." He ordered her release and publicly apologized before the whole kingdom. As a reward for her bravery, Cujo made her royal market commander, a new position that ensured no abuse or theft could happen again. Under her watch, prices became fair, the poor were protected, and the market became safer than it had ever been. Over time, Kate became not just a market leader, but Cujo's trusted advisor. Whispers even spread through the kingdom that perhaps she would one day be queen. Guys, thanks for watching. If you love heartwarming, powerful, and unforgettable stories that touch the soul, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe to Official SD1, your home for stories that inspire, heal, and move hearts. Every like, comment, and share helps this channel grow and allows me to keep bringing you stories that matter. Your support means everything. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and join the official SD1 family today.